Hi, I'm Bruce Cramer, and I'm a certified business and leadership coach with Focal Point based here in Southwest Florida. However, I do practice internationally. I've spent decades in corporate America leading teams to deliver strong business performance and profitable growth. So today, I get to take all the lessons, the good, the bad, the ugly, and combine that with Focal Point's world-renowned proven coaching system inspired by Brian Tracy. And if you don't know who Brian is, Google him. Again, that's Brian Tracy. So now I get to combine my experience with their content and practices and really help leaders find clarity, reduce stress, uncertainty, and frustration, and really help them achieve transformational results. And one of the fundamentals, which I'm going to talk about today, behind transformational results is this whole science of effective goal setting. And really, I'm going to cover 4 points around goal setting that are crucial and make all the difference in the world for my clients. The first point I'm going to make is you need to set clear goals with purpose. You need the why. Many business leaders tend to set their purpose based on their values and their mission. And I applaud them, because without that, your goal is nothing but a to-do list item. And when it comes down to really getting people engaged, and for you personally as a leader to really be motivated, you need to understand your why. And if you do that, you're going to have a huge impact. The second point I like to talk about when it comes to goal setting is this thing that's now being taught it as the SMARTer framework. So we've all heard about SMART goals. They're specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. That's extremely important. However, the SMARTer adds the E and the R, and that's about being evaluated and revisited. And let me tell you, anybody that gets to work with me, and I've got 2 young entrepreneurs especially, we actually visit our goals on a weekly basis. Every now and then I run into a client and they'll say, we peek in, on a quarterly basis or even a monthly. And I have everything to do to stop rolling my eyes. Because if you're allowing a month or 3 months to go by, you are at risk. Because as we all know, as we pursue our goals, sometimes we need to course correct. And if you're leaving a month or 3 months ago, you're losing money, time, and resources. So I strongly recommend weekly brief reviews as to how are you doing as it relates to your goals. This not only drives accountability, but as I've been beating a dead horse, it gives you a chance to be very proactive in terms of course correcting or recalibrating the goal. The third point I like to make is the importance of cascading these goals. Now, when I talk about cascading goals, I tell my clients, you engage every formal as well as informal leader in your organization to drive those goals as far down into the organization and across as they possibly can. Because we all know everybody has an understanding as how do I contribute to the big picture? You will drive focus, you will drive ownership, and more importantly, significant impact. So that's my third point. And finally, my fourth and final point is the need to celebrate. Now, one of the things I love to do is at the opening in every session with my client, we always discuss the wins. Because as we all know, as we get busy and we got 101 things going on, we most times don't sit back and realize what we've actually accomplished. So I make my clients think from one week to the next, what were my wins? And so when we open up with that, it energizes them beyond belief, because they'll stop and they're fairly humble, but they'll, make comments like, oh my God, I got a lot more done than I thought. So it energizes them, but also it gives us the chance to really underscore what are the desired behaviors we're looking for. By celebrating whether they're small or big wins, we get to highlight the desired behaviors and results we're looking for. So I strongly recommend pulling your team together, just like with goal setting, and with that once a week where you get to huddle up and touch base, also celebrate the wins. So you can, as I mentioned, underscore the behavior and results you're looking for. So in conclusion, effective goal setting is as much an art as it is a science. So you start with purpose. You make damn sure you incorporate things like this SMARTER framework, and then you make sure those goals are clearly understood across the organization and everybody understands their role, and then you celebrate. Again, this is no more than a 30-minute meeting a week where you pull people together. So, and I tell you, if you do this, you will not only hit your targets, but you will exceed them with far less stress and a hell of a lot more clarity throughout your organization. So let's talk if you're ready to set goals that actually get done. Get it done with Bruce. Visit me at brucecramer.com. Thank you.